The approval rating of a sitting president at any given moment is more than just a number. It's a real-time gauge of the nation's mood, reflecting the collective sentiment and pulse of the American people. It's a snapshot of how the public perceives the president's performance. For President Donald Trump, now months into his second term, these metrics take on even greater significance, shaping his legacy and influencing his future decisions. These numbers are more than statistics. They're a public performance review that shapes policy, political strategy, and even the administration's communication tactics. They provide invaluable insights into what's working and what's not. As we enter the summer of 2025, the political climate is as charged as ever, with deep divisions and passionate opinions on every side. Trump's ambitious agenda, especially on issues like immigration, trade, and the economy, has kept public opinion in constant flux, creating a dynamic and unpredictable political landscape. The latest polls offer a snapshot, a fleeting glimpse, of how his policies are landing with Americans, revealing the successes and shortcomings of his administration's efforts. They reveal which groups support him, who opposes him, and crucially, why, uncovering the underlying motivations and concerns driving public sentiment. This feedback loop between the public and the presidency, this constant dialogue, is a cornerstone of democracy, ensuring that the government remains responsive to the will of the people. By examining the most recent data with a critical and discerning eye, we can see not just the numbers, but the forces driving them, the complex interplay of factors shaping public opinion. The story is about more than approval ratings. It's about understanding the nuances. It's about the complex priorities and beliefs shaping the American electorate, the hopes, fears, and aspirations that drive their choices. These polls are both a guide for the administration, informing their decisions and strategies, and a tool for public accountability, ensuring that the government remains transparent and responsive to the needs of its citizens. Let's break down the latest findings, dissect the data, to understand the evolving relationship between the president and the people, and what it means for the future of American democracy. The latest CBS News YouGov poll, a comprehensive survey designed to capture the current mood of the American electorate, conducted in July 2025, gives us a clear look at President Trump's standing. It delves into key issues and voter sentiments, providing valuable insights into the political climate. This poll aims to offer an in-depth analysis of where the president stands with various demographics and on crucial policy matters. His overall job approval is at 44%, a figure that reflects the complex and often contradictory opinions held by the American public, with 56% disapproving, indicating a significant portion of the population holds reservations about the president's performance. A 12-point gap that signals a tough environment for the White House. This difference between approval and disapproval ratings underscores the challenges the administration faces in gaining broader public support and navigating a divided political landscape. The intensity is striking. The strength of feeling on both sides of the political spectrum is palpable. Most who approve or disapprove do so strongly, highlighting deep polarization. This lack of moderate opinion contributes to the increasingly divisive nature of political discourse. There's little middle ground, making consensus and compromise increasingly difficult to achieve. Americans are firmly divided, entrenched in their respective political corners. Trump's highest marks come on the economy, a consistent strength throughout his presidency, where he maintains relative strength. This perception of economic competence could be a key factor in his support base. But his lowest ratings are on social issues, reflecting the deep divisions on matters of cultural and societal importance. And immigration, two areas where his policies have faced significant opposition and generated considerable controversy. Now at the center of national debate, these issues continue to fuel passionate discussions and shape public opinion. Americans are judging him across a range of issues, not just one. This multifaceted evaluation highlights the complexity of presidential approval in the modern era. Demographically, support is high among Republicans, a predictable alignment given party loyalty, extremely low among Democrats, mirroring the partisan divide that characterizes American politics. And independents lean toward disapproval, suggesting a struggle to win over this crucial voting bloc. There are also persistent divides by race, highlighting the ongoing challenges of achieving equality and addressing systemic disparities. Gender, reflecting differing priorities and perspectives between men and women on various issues. And education. These demographic fault lines underscore the diverse and often conflicting interests within the American population. These numbers provide a baseline for understanding the challenges Trump faces in broadening his appeal, particularly as he looks towards future elections. The poll's details reveal the entrenched divisions shaping today's political landscape, offering a stark reminder of the polarization that defines contemporary American society. The administration's path forward will depend on how it responds to these realities and whether it can bridge these divides or further exacerbate them. Immigration has surged to the forefront of public concern in recent months, becoming a dominant topic in national discourse. It's a complex issue with deep roots, touching on economic, social, and humanitarian considerations, eclipsing even the economy, which has traditionally been a top voter concern in the latest CBS News YouGov poll. This shift highlights the growing intensity of feelings surrounding immigration policy. A significant and growing share of Americans now cite immigration as the country's top problem, reflecting anxieties about border control, national identity, and the rule of law. This has led to a heightened focus in political debate on border security, with calls for increased enforcement and stricter regulations, and consequently, on deportation policies, sparking intense debate about who should be removed from the country and under what circumstances. Trump's approval on immigration is just 39%, indicating a significant level of public dissatisfaction with his handling of the issue, with 61% disapproving, lower than his overall approval rating, suggesting that immigration is a particular point of vulnerability for the former president. Even some who strongly support him on the economy and other issues are critical of his immigration policies, revealing a crack in his base of support. The administration's aggressive actions, including high-profile raids and family separations, have sparked widespread controversy and condemnation. These actions have garnered significant media attention, further fueling political polarization and dividing the country. For staunch supporters, these policies fulfill long-standing campaign promises to secure the border and reduce illegal immigration. But for opponents, they're widely seen as inhumane, morally reprehensible, and deeply divisive, tearing apart families and undermining American values. Immigration now energizes both Trump's base, solidifying their support, and his critics, galvanizing opposition and driving political activism. This makes it arguably the defining issue of his presidency, shaping his legacy and influencing the political landscape for years to come. The debate surrounding immigration has transcended simple policy disagreements and become a moral and ethical touchstone, reflecting fundamental differences in values and beliefs. Where Americans stand on immigration now increasingly predicts their overall view of Trump, solidifying its place as a key dividing line in American politics. The CBS News YouGov poll exposes the vast partisan gulf on Trump's immigration policies. About 78% of Republicans support large-scale deportations, seeing them as necessary for border integrity. In contrast, 85% of Democrats oppose these efforts, citing humanitarian and economic concerns. The same split appears on detention centers. 75% of Republicans support their use, while 82% of Democrats oppose them. For Republicans, detention is a practical tool. For Democrats, it's punitive and harmful. These are not minor disagreements. They reflect fundamentally different worldviews. The result is a political climate where compromise on immigration is nearly impossible. The divide over deportation and detention is a microcosm of America's broader partisan conflict. To understand July's poll numbers, we need context. Trump's 44% approval is down from 47% in June and 49% in April, a steady decline. This drop coincides with the administration's intensified immigration push. Earlier in the year, positive economic news buoyed his ratings, but the immigration crackdown has shifted the narrative. The 5-point slide since April signals eroding support, especially among independents. The initial post-election honeymoon has faded, replaced by growing skepticism. Sustained declines weaken a president's political capital and ability to advance new initiatives. The key question, is this a temporary dip or a lasting shift in public opinion? The data suggests the administration's recent actions are costing it support. Looking beyond single polls, aggregates like the New York Times and Real Clear Politics confirm the trend. Both place Trump's approval in the mid-44% range, mirroring the CBS News findings. These averages show a clear downward trend since late spring, reinforcing the reality of declining support. Analysts point to the administration's hardline immigration policies as a key factor. The consistency across different aggregators strengthens the credibility of these results. Aggregates smooth out noise, offering a reliable indicator of public opinion. The numbers show Trump's approval settling in the mid-40s, a challenging position for any president. The administration faces real headwinds as it pursues its second-term agenda. Support for mass deportations, a core Trump policy, has dropped notably. The latest poll shows 40% of Americans in favor, down from 48% in February. Opposition has grown to 58%, a clear majority. The 8-point decline in support is significant, especially among independents and moderate Republicans. Media coverage of raids and family separations may be driving this shift. The reality of the policy's impact is changing minds, not just among Democrats, but across the spectrum. When a signature initiative loses public backing, it creates political vulnerabilities. The administration's messaging is failing to win over undecideds, contributing to Trump's overall approval decline. The drop in Trump's approval isn't happening in a vacuum. The move from campaign rhetoric to real-world immigration enforcement has made the consequences visible and personal. Media saturation, images of raids, separated families, and protests has shaped public perception. For many, the emotional and human costs outweigh the policy's intended benefits. Economic concerns are also surfacing, with business leaders warning of labor shortages if mass deportations continue. Policy fatigue is setting in. Some Americans are simply tired of constant controversy. This exhaustion is eroding support among those not firmly in either camp. The numbers reflect a public increasingly uneasy with the administration's confrontational approach. July's polling paints a challenging picture for President Trump. His approval has dipped to 44%, confirmed by multiple sources. The hardline immigration push, especially mass deportations, is a key reason for the decline. The nation is deeply divided, with Republicans backing Trump and Democrats strongly opposed. Support for mass deportations has dropped 8 points since February, signaling discomfort with the policy's real-world effects. The administration now faces a choice: double down to energize the base or moderate to win back the center. These polls are more than a report card. They reflect America's struggle with identity, security, and values. The story is still unfolding, and public opinion will continue to shape the Trump presidency's legacy.